Hello, children. Today we are looking at our creative writing lesson. Now, in front of us, we have a beautiful picture. Last week, we also had a picture of the farm, and this is also a picture of the farm that we're looking at again this week. Last week, we also named objects that are on the farm. Today, we're looking at objects, but we're also looking at animals that live on the farm. Now, if we look around us, we can see many things in the picture. And that's the thing about creative writing. When we write, we don't write about one thing alone. We write about those things that are all around us. Sometimes we may have people, sometimes we may have animals or objects that we look at to write our sentences with. Now, first of all, we are going to name what we see in the picture. And as I said, we are looking all around. We're not just looking at one thing alone in this picture. Let's start with what we have in the middle that is familiar to what we did last week or something that's the same. We saw a barn last week. This, where my pointer is pointing, is called a barn. Let's write the word barn. B. Now let's just change the letters a little bit. Right, so we have B, R, barn. Here's a barn. Let's see what else we can see. Another object. What's this? Yes, it's a tree. Let's write the word tree. R E tree. Let's see. Let's look at the animals now. Here we have fluffy and white animals. What do we call these? Yes, they're sheep. Sh E P sheep. Okay, now next we have tall animals, tall brown. These are called horses. Let's write horses. Horses. Sorry, horses. We have two of them, so we say horses. What else do we have here? Yes, chicken. Ch I N. And we have more than one chicken, so we say chickens. We put in the S. Yes, here we have some lovely pink animals. What are they called? Pigs. P I G S. Pigs. And we have these what are these called? Cows. Yes. Ow. O-W-O. And this cows. And what are these? Goats. G O T S. Goats. Let's change up the lettering again to make it a little easier to read. Right, so we have goats here. So now we've named animals and we've named some of the things that make up our picture. Let's go over them again. Barn, tree. Let's look at the animals now. Sheep, goats, cows, pigs, horses, and chickens. Now that we know what we have in the picture, we've named some of it. As I said, we did not name everything. If we had to write a word for everything, then we may write and write until we're so tired. So we need to write just enough. Okay, that's just enough. We have some names of objects and we have some animals that make up the picture. Now it's time to write a sentence. I'm going to choose one of these words to write a sentence. That lucky word there is, yes, you guessed it, sheep. So I'm going to put it in red, sheep. Now, when we talk about more than one sheep, we don't say sheeps. It's the same thing for more than one. That's a kind of tricky word. You say sheep. Okay, one sheep, two sheep. Good. Now let's think about some describing words for sheep. Last week we saw that describing words are words that say what something is like. You could use the color, size, shape, or even how many there are. Let's look at our sheep. We want to describe them. Let's look at the color. What color are those sheep? Yes, the sheep are white. Yes. And what about if you got a chance to look at them? The all over there. They're pulling up that place there. And they have those little bumpy things around them, which means that if you touch them, they will feel soft, or we say fluffy, because they have a lot of hair around them, like your fluffy teddy bear, your bunny rabbit. They are fluffy. So we can say that the sheep are fluffy. They are white. That's the color. And fluffy tells what they feel like, right? It's a way of describing them. So let's get started. We're going to write a sentence about our sheep. Here's our sentence. So do you see the word sheep in red that I chose to write about? I'm writing about the sheep. So now when you write your sentence, you don't have to write them in colors. Write them with your normal pencil. I'm writing it in color just to show you what word I used. Okay, good. So here we have the word sheep, which I'm writing about now. And then we described the sheep. We said the color of the sheep was white. That's the word white. And we also said if we felt the sheep, they would feel fluffy. Here's the word fluffy. So we have the word sheep, we have the word fluffy, and we have the word white. Now let's read our sentence. The sheep are fluffy and white. I'm going to read them again. The sheep are fluffy and white. This is my sentence about the sheep. And if we look at the sheep, we see that they're fluffy and they're white, right? And one important thing about sentence writing is that you must begin with a capital letter. You see my T here is not a common T. It's a capital T. Every sentence must begin with a capital letter. And here is the end of my sentence. I'm going to put it in another color. I'm going to put it in blue. So you can see, do you see that blue full stop there? We put a full stop at the end of our sentence to show that we have finished writing. Right? So when someone reads our sentence, they're not going to keep on reading on and on. They will stop right there. Okay? So when you write your sentences to me now, I'll be looking out for your capital letter at the beginning and your full stop at the end. And I want to see those words that describe, or those words that tell me what the animal or the object is about. Okay? So in your creative writing book, I want you to write dates, creative writing, and I want two sentences about any. You can choose one animal, or you can choose the group of animals, and or one object. So you can write about the animals, or you can write about the objects in the picture, but you must have two sentences. Okay? Very good. Well done, children.